Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode here on the SMP. Behind me is the big tree that we worked on last episode. This was the last project really to work on here in the rural area, which means that we're now going to move on to finishing the town. There's only a few little bits left to do over there, so let me go over there and show you what I have in mind. Past the library and cat cafe and the little island we worked on a couple episodes ago, we have these plans I've been making out here. And past this little building, we have a little bit more. Yeah, there it is. And we have kind of these just scaffolding pillars spaced out here, and these are meant to indicate a little bit of a forest, a transition between the vanilla terrain and the terrain of the town. So we're gonna have some default trees over here and then some custom trees over here, and they're kind of going to blend together. It'll also provide a little bit of a natural visual barrier, so you won't really notice it too much and will be a little bit more immersed while you're in the city. We have these planes over here though. These are going to be docks. I feel like docks are the best explanation of something that the town has yet to explain. How do things come in and things go out? Well, I think docks make the most sense here because we don't really want to build a road over vanilla terrain to nowhere, because I don't think that really makes too much sense. We don't have enough room for a railroad with a train station, even though that would be a really cool build. I think docks are going to make the most sense, especially for this area right here. Now, there's also other things to consider, like the just general area of the server. This was built pretty much day one of this fishing dock, and pretty soon after that, that fishing dock was made by Expelfar on the other side of the river. So I figure it's time that I make my own fishing dock in this general area, and I think right here is going to be a really nice little space between all three. Now, we also have some other things to consider, like I think I want to build a little bit of a boat in this little section right here. We might build a little shelter or something right here for something, I'm not really sure yet. And there's also just other docks that I think we can fit in this area for different purposes. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be doing here yet, but there's a little bit better of an idea planned out for this section right here. So I think we can go ahead and get started on making some trees. Alright, we're finished. We got all the trees and stuff in place, we got a nice kind of visual barrier here. And of course, once we walk through here, we can start to kind of see a little bit more of the vanilla terrain. I added some transitions with vanilla trees and custom trees. I think it all kind of looks nice. We have a little reference here to some early season lore. If you were around back then, you remember we had some animal pits in the ground in this area, and I made a little reference to them there. Now, I guess it's just time to move on to the docks and stuff. I also want to add a little boat in this little spot right here, but I think we'll do that last. I think we just need to work on the docks for now. I think this will be mostly trial and error. I don't really have any idea of what this is gonna all look like, so I guess let's just get started. The dock area is now all finished. We have all the little details in place. The grass is grown. We have something left to do here. We have some scaffolding in the water. We have a crafting table and shulker box still here that needs picked up. But we're not done yet. We have this little boat to do in this general area, but all the details of the actual docks are done. We have some crisscrossing beams under the water, which I think always looks nice. We have some different things like lanterns and boats and different things above. Here we have this little storage area, which I don't know if that makes too much practical sense, but it looks nice. And if you look at it from across the water here, it looks pretty nice, and it's making up a pretty significant portion of like the shoreline view of the whole town. So it really is pretty important, and I think the feature piece of this whole area will be the boat that we're going to add over here. And because it's such a feature piece and so important, I've actually planned it out in creative mode, and I'm really excited to start building it here on the server. So let's go ahead and get started. It's a flatboat. Now, a lot of you probably don't know what a flatboat is, and I don't blame you if you don't, because it's kind of one of those weird things where I don't know why I know about it. I think they kind of just like appear often on like TV, I guess, like in different shows or whatever. But really, they are a part of history and they were used for a really long time here in the United States to get goods to market wherever market was, often downstream, I guess, because these were really bad at going back upstream. So bad, in fact, that whenever the farmer or whoever owned it got to market, they would often dismantle it and sell the wood. They just didn't use it to go back upstream. They would get a different boat or just ride a mule or horse or something back upstream. They usually didn't keep these around for too long, but they were really useful at getting goods downstream. That's what they were used for a really long time. So much so that there was literally thousands of them per year that showed up in like bigger cities like New Orleans. And I think that's kind of impressive that these were used so widely back in the day. Either way, they have had a lasting impression on, I guess, culture at large because they do show up in TV shows and stuff, and I know about them somehow. So I built one. They didn't always have shelters on the top, but I felt like ours, would look better with a shelter. So there's a shelter on here. They sometimes transported donkeys and mules and stuff, and I felt like this one was very aptly named, so I stole it from Expelfar. Um, don't tell him. But uh, in general, we just have a lot of cargo on this boat, and I think it kind of just looks nice. We also have a little thing upstairs here too, where you can kind of go up that ladder and just have a little platform up there. We have a rudder in the back. They pretty much always had a rudder, but they didn't always have oars or anything to really push them along. Sometimes they would use a mule or something along the riverbank and just had it walk and tied to the boat and like just walk so it would go upstream, or they would take big sticks and just push against the bottom of the river. Either way, I guess they got wherever they needed to go at a good enough rate until steamboats and trains were invented, and these kind of fell out of fashion. But in general, I think that means we're almost done. Now, I've been saying for the rest of this episode, probably beforehand, that after this we would be done, but there's something else to do. Something that we've done before, and something we haven't done before. So I guess actually two things left to do. But one of them we've done before. I think we should do that one first. Let's go ahead and get over there. Over here in the library, we have some maps upstairs in the enchanting area, and it's been a while since we updated. We've done a lot of stuff since the last time we updated these maps, and I feel like it's time to update them again, especially since we're now done. This should be the last time we update them, so I think I'll do this off camera. I have all the stuff I need in this bundle, so we'll go ahead and get started on this, and I'll show you once I'm done. And we are done, at least with this map. There is another map over there that will need updated too, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and just put all these on here real quick, and we'll see the final picture of the town at its highest resolution as far as maps are concerned. Yeah, there we go. This is the complete town. There's no map that zooms in any closer than this, so this will be the kind of best detailed view of the town that you'll be able to see, which is really interesting. I like the way maps kind of do perspective a little bit differently. We have a lot of new stuff in the rural area, especially including that big tree and house and stuff. This whole middle section, really. Either way, there is this other map to do, like I said, and this will be a lot easier, I think, because it's a lot more zoomed in. There's not much more to see, but you can see we haven't really updated this pretty much ever, so there's a lot to get updated here. I think we'll go ahead and do this one as well. We'll have only a couple maps to do here, so let's go ahead and do this one too. The maps are now finished. There's only 3 for this one. With these zoomed out maps, you do get quite a bit more coverage at the cost of detail, of course, which I think does actually kind of look good, especially whenever you have multiple maps like we do here, so you can kind of get the more detailed view and then a more general view over here. We do have enough detail to kind of see the town there and the rural area and Expelfar's area and that kind of stuff. It's still on this map, but it's just a lot more zoomed out. I think it's all looks pretty good though, which does mean that there's only one thing left that I know of to do. Now, what this is that I want to do last is pretty significant, I think. Now, it's right over here by the road that comes from spawn. This sign, which is blank, I've left this blank for a reason until now, so I think I'll just go ahead and write it and you'll probably see why. An American Small Town by O'Halloran. Now, because we're done, I felt like this was kind of a neat thing to add with the kind of unofficial entrance being here from spawn. And then because we're done, I felt like it was also time to put my name on the build. And we are done with the build completely now. There's nothing left that I can think of to add or change. So we're just completely finished, which is neat to think about, but we're not done completely with the server. There's going to be a few more episodes left in this season for a world tour, and maybe a couple world tour episodes actually. There, I might split it up in a couple parts, that way there's a little bit more of a kind of connection in between seasons. But once we're done with that, we'll of course be moving on to some other project. Of course, we're not gonna just disappear, probably. Who knows though? We'll get there when we get there. But right now, we're done with the build. Yeah, and we're out of time for this episode. So thank you guys all for watching, and God bless.